Welcome to our channel. Today, we'll reveal Anya's birthday party secrets. It brought a smile to Anya's face as two lonely souls bonded over cardboard banners. They inquired about each other's skills. Miles boasted good marksmanship. Anya, a top sniper, was curious and shot his cup away. Anya stared provocatively at him, but Miles wasn't backing down. He quickly grabbed his M416 and smashed Anya's cup, to which Anya clapped and cheered. She excitedly placed a new bottle on her head, signaling Miles to continue, while they both burst into laughter. Just then, Anya looked down from the watchtower and gestured for Miles to check below. As Miles leaned down, he saw a horde of shadows slowly climbing up, almost like a movie. Subtitle: the body seemed utterly empty. Miles fired without hesitation after a short thought. 2 headshots, then detonated a floating mine, sending the hollows packing. But more hollow folks kept climbing up, and Anya on the other side started her heavy machine gun, turning this into a massive hollow folks party. With their combined effort, this wave of climbing hollow folks was repelled, but Anya heard rocks falling. Subtitles. Suddenly, a strange and eerie hand almost grasped her foot, and a vertically standing hollow person emerged at the edge of the outpost, prompting everyone to can't help but wonder, could this possibly be a fashion show? Anya's heart pounded. She grabbed her gun, fired repeatedly but missed. Miles ran over as Anya kicked a hollow dude off the cliff. More hollow folks started climbing towards Anya's watchtower. Anya jumped up again and started firing. Miles rushed to assist as they both worked together to fend off the hollow folks. One was shot down by Miles, accidentally triggering a hanging contraption above. The explosion sent several climbing hollow folks flying, but a piece of debris accidentally hit Anya's shoulder. At that moment, Miles activated his heavy machine gun to help Anya fend off the hollow folks. Subtitles. The automated defense turrets were also unleashing bombardment on the hollow folks on both sides of the canyon. Anya endured the pain and fought on, with the battle lasting all through the night until all the hollow folks were driven back home. Fortunately, after Anya's injury had been treated, she turned out to be fine, thus allowing Miles to breathe a sigh of relief. Meanwhile, Miles reset the floating bombs, only to see a black drone-like machine rise from the canyon below. Just as the turrets were preparing to investigate, the drone quickly escaped the canyon, and Miles, caught off guard, was completely unaware. 2 months swiftly passed, and other than the previous incident, nothing much had changed. Miles and Anya remained closely connected. On Christmas, seeing a light bulb on the ground, Miles made a Christmas tree for Anya, deeply touching her. Their bond became stronger, and aside from work, they always kept each other company, finding immense warmth just being around one another. Sadly, a canyon kept them apart, and winter quickly passed while they had spent 8 months holding their ground. One day, Miles didn't see Anya and felt uneasy, only to discover later that night that Anya was sitting alone, crying in her using cardboard to ask her what was wrong. He learned that her only old dad had passed away today, stirring even more of his desire to cross the canyon and meet her. However, crossing by sheer force alone was impossible, leaving him feeling utterly helpless. Determined to see Anya, he fetched some bullets from the armory, disassembling the firing pin and extracting the gunpowder. He connected the rocket section with the carabiner, then scattered a rope on the ground. Under Anya's astonished gaze, he finally succeeded in crafting a rope bridge. Without hesitation, he launched a fiery arrow towards his watchtower. Oh, trouble brewing. The arrow successfully landed near the east tower, prompting Anya to rush down to the ground and climb onto the restroom roof. There, she quickly secured the rope tightly to a tree, while Miles cheekily asked, "Want to grab a midnight snack?" Leaving Anya to prepare for the upcoming rendezvous, Miles, dressed to impress, picked some wildflowers and hung his carabiner on the rope. Without hesitation, he dashed out, hitting the target dead on. He flew toward the center of the canyon, with the hollow folks howling, and yet, to see Anya, he climbed that rope with reckless abandon, finally, without a hitch, making his way to Anya. Their first real meeting was heartfelt and filled with dreams, spending an unforgettable night. The next day, Miles took the rope back home. With watery eyes, he turned back several times, only for his assistant to erupt in noise, as some hollow ones had already made it up. A sudden sense of horror gripped Miles, but before he could react, a rock came crashing down. He plunged downward, and Anya panicked. Luckily, Miles had a parachute for emergencies. The canyon hid countless dangers. Anya rushed to the armory, took her and a parachute, and jumped. Through the thick white fog, she plunged into the water, but her parachute got snagged. She had no choice but to cut loose, smashing against the large boulders, sweeping downstream until she finally clutched a tree branch to stop. At this moment, Miles was in a murky dead forest with a grotesque creature hanging above, almost comical. He quickly drew his handgun to pop the ugly monster, and the gunfire startled Anya nearby. Miles shot while untangling himself, putting on quite a show of thrills. Unfortunately, he fell into a mound of sticky red goo, struggling to stand, but getting thoroughly stuck. Around him, numerous particles suddenly emerged, leaving him completely bewildered, when suddenly 2 hollow horsemen riding war horses rushed towards him, knocking Anya flying. Miles attempted to help, but got knocked back too. The 2 hollow riders fell flat. However, one managed to escape, and to Miles' dismay, it turned out to be a flying perk. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to get more hilariously funny content.